Amazing local businesses every day.
That's right.
4 to 6 weekdays. The afternoon underdogs.
It's mayhem.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Looking for an unbeatable deal on a pre-owned ride? Head straight to Tommy Auto's 2209 West 15th Street. An amazing selection of quality used vehicles under $14,995. Our friendly sales team is geared up to help you discover the perfect match for your needs and your wallet. Plus, we guarantee a hassle-free experience. Buy here, pay here. Financing options are available, and everyone is approved. You'll find incredible value and service that shines. You gotta come to Tommy Auto's 2209 West 15th Street.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Clare, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design, build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub. I'm full of water. I stay hot tub. Stay very hot. Stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub. Rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub with me. Drink in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really make me sweat.
Yeah.
Drink in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really make me wet.
Yeah. Well, it's finally here. A beautiful Friday in paradise. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. James, what's happening, Big Daddy?
How you guys doing? Happy to be back at the studio.
Man, things have changed since you've been gone. I think you might have caused it. I don't know.
I left.
A lot of rumors. A
Man,
little bit. What do you got? What's that shirt say?
It says Padres.
Padres.
He don't know what sport that is.
What is that? Soccer?
Is that South Alabama?
Close. Right on the border with
South
soccer.
Alabama?
There you go. That's Kelsey Creek, Kelsey Spawn. Where the hell is that at? Anyway, good morning. Welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, it is going to be absolutely gorgeous today. Hot, beautiful weather. Already breaking news. We got Jeff Spiegel today. Can't wait to get him in here at 8. We got Jim Durant here. 7:30 FSU update is going to be really interesting. You need to pay attention at 7:30 what Jim has to share with you. Florida State, don't do it. Don't do it. Am I right? Don't do it.
I wouldn't think so, but we'll see.
You're gonna hear about it at 7:30. I didn't know anything about it.
So recruiting is not going any better.
It's going to get worse. I'm telling you, what I've heard, if this happens, it's going to get ugly.
I don't know how it can get any worse.
That could really do them in.
I guess they're saying hold my beer.
Yeah, this is good. Jim did a good job on this research here. Anyway, Iron Bowl, the opening line right now, Alabama 5.5. Go bet the mortgage on it if you're an Auburn fan. Because if you're ranked, if you have the kind of year I think you're going to have, I think you're going to be in pretty good shape. We'll see.
I saw his record against top 25 teams.
Yeah.
Like, 12-33 or something?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I wouldn't hitch my wagon to that.
Yeah, we'll see. Jason, what's going on with Max Fit Sports Nutrition? One of the locally owned companies here throughout the Panhandle of Florida that, you can try it before you buy it. The coaches that take their kids down there and players that know, hey, this really helps. This really helps us. It helps them. It helps our program. Everybody out there driving around right now, you've heard about it. Come in. Visit with him. It might be for you. You might be embarrassed. Sometimes I was embarrassed. I went and talked to Jason, came off on the side and said, had this issue, I need some help. I didn't want everybody to know about it. But now it's been
Now
great.
everybody knows about it.
What's going down there?
No, we actually got some new products in. I've been talking about it. Transparent Labs, no artificial colors, sweeteners, great for young kids, parents, mom, dad. But we do have free samples on there. We got their protein, we got their creatine, HMB, which is really good for athletes to be able to build some muscle naturally without having any side effects or anything crazy in their body. But you can come down there and try out these products, Transparent Labs. I mean, we're going to have 15% off for the rest of July on all their products. So come down and give them a shot.
15% off?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're really clean. They don't use, like I said, nowadays you get really frustrated with some of these health products because they got dyes, they got artificial sweeteners, and they jack your stomach up, or they have these side effects that you don't really want. So Transparent Labs is one of the few companies that doesn't use anything in their products like that. It's just protein. They use basic just ingredients and natural sweeteners like monk fruit and stuff like that. So real easy on the body, really clean, and gets you better results as well.
I know one young man that really needs to get into Max Fit Sports Nutrition. He needs to load his car up, head on back up north. Let's bring him on right now. The people's caller, Mr. Steve. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach Hale. This is Steve from Lexington, Tennessee, via Casadega, Volusia County, in the meeting of Mike. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. Roll Tide.
Well, whatever you want to say. Giggle, Jason. That is funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Roll Pride. Anyway, I got some news on the CTE front.
Central Time.
Chronic traumatic encephalitis caused by head knocking.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Not head banging, that's different, but head knocking.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What you got?
Well, I was diagnosed yesterday by the VA in the first pre-necrotic diagnosis. I'm suffering from CTE with HI.
Uh-oh.
CTE.
Sounds like the Tennessee quarterback at Ohio State.
Ooh, cracked helmet.
Yeah, well, he ain't there no more. Okay? How about that? He's at USC. He's in the Big Ten where he belongs.
There we go.
Anyway, it's CTE. That's Crimson Tide envy with homicidal intentions.
There you go. That's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, well, not so much anymore since Saban retired. By the way, I do have a true report about Mumbles Belichick. I know Jim Bob loves him.
Oh yeah,
Jim Bob there?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm there.
don't you? Yeah, old Mumbles has finally revealed his. Can I call him that? That's from a Dick Tracy. We don't have to pay any money on that, right?
Yeah,
no.
that's fine with
Mumbles
me.
and the Dick Tracy. Anyway, he has finally revealed who his starting quarterback is. He's going to use the young man from South Alabama who transferred post-spring practice. So that brings into question my theory that spring practice really isn't worth much anymore.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about it? Seriously, that's a serious question.
Now that you can transfer out, you can't even build your roster. You still don't know what your roster is. No, it's not. Not like it used to be. No, totally different now.
I think a lot of times people are building depth and setting their depth chart. Now that's a little dangerous to do because now kids are like, oh, I'm third on the depth chart, and I'm out.
So, remember there was one time talk of playing a spring football game against another college team, and the guy was at Middle Tennessee State, Stockton, I think. He said, there's no way. He said, we go to play a game like that, the other teams see, hey, he's got a pretty good player, let's go get him.
Yep.
Yeah. Spring football. The whole college game's strange.
Yeah. It is strange now, and I'm going to compliment Coach Jim Bob for knowing Joe Turkey Jones the other day. I don't know if you knew. Do you know any? I wish Glenn was there. We could play name these nicknames. Are these really nicknames from Tennessee State, which was a couple of streets over from my neighborhood in Northwest Nashville? But I'll do a true or false with you. 747. Is that a nickname? True or false?
I must say true.
Yes, Joe 747 Adams. Of course, everybody knows Joe Jefferson Street Gilliam from Pittsburgh, number 17. Almost beat out Bradshaw. What about Suitcase Simpson?
I'm going to say no. I never heard that one before.
OJ.
Well, that's because he wasn't really that great a player, but it is true, and Coach Merritt called him that because he came in one day and they said, "What you been doing this summer?" You know, like checking out, you know. And he goes, "Oh, I've been traveling." He said, "Okay, we're going to call you Suitcase." Anyway, you can't make this stuff up. I know it's not that funny, but let me ask you something about Cooper Moss. They say that there are 10 high school shortstops that may go in the first parts of the Major League Draft. And it's going to be a real it's going to be a telling part about NIL, not so much portal, but NIL, whether these young men, and they're all men, by the way, I don't know if you know that, they're all, that's a little joke there, whether they're going to go play college or they're going to go to the majors. What do y'all think?
It's all about the money, right? Did they make more money at where they're at?
It could be about the girls. Now, I think I'd rather date the girls at Florida than some of the ladies that hang out at minor.
If you can make good money at LSU, Mississippi State, Texas, why would you leave? You get your college degree, make just as much money, don't have to be on a bus traveling all over the place.
I could see not going to Vanderbilt because the girls are ugly there, but we don't go there.
Yeah.
That was kind of mean, wasn't it? But
yes, it was.
In all seriousness, have you seen David Hayes? Spencer Strider struck out 11 last night, and the Braves still lost to the Athletics. I'll leave you at that point and tell you, go Vols, go Troy State. It ain't long, brother. We'll see you at Tallahassee.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Sad news. Mark Rick's dad died. Did you see that?
No.
Mark Rick's father passed. I didn't know he was alive. Lou Rick, he was 88 years old.
So he had to be pretty old.
Yeah, passed away Thursday. 88 years old, had a good long life. Raised some great
Doesn't Mark
kids.
Rick have Parkinson's or something?
Yes, he's got some issues, no doubt about that.
Thought so.
Yeah, kind of sad. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, how much time, James? How much time we got? If you got,
we got about a good 6 minutes before we got to head on into a break.
all right, 6 minutes. We got time to do it. This is the latest, the Big 12 picks. Arizona State is picked to win the Big 12 championship. Number 2 comes in at Kansas. Now, I don't know. I guess this is from the media out there doing media days, I guess. Number 3, it was a tie between Texas Tech. I'm telling you now, Texas Tech going forward, they got the billionaire. They're going to be good across the board in every sport. We talked about this the other day. The guys putting money into the program. Baylor, huge game week 1 against Auburn on Friday on Fox. I think it's a 7 o'clock kickoff on a Friday night. That's a unbelievably huge game for both programs. They're at number 3 in their league. Auburn's not ranked very high in the SEC. Number 5 is Iowa State. Number 6, Utah. Number 7, TCU. Number 8, Kansas. Number 9, BYU. 10, Deion Sanders in Colorado. Deion, I'm worried about his health. When you lose 14 pounds and you're not telling anybody what's wrong, you're real quiet. And you don't, as a coach, you don't want anybody to know if you got something really bad because... And you do want to, Randy said that's published nobody's, but no, it's not. It's, if I got a kid, if I got a son, he's thinking about going to play for Deion Sanders, and there's something wrong with him, he's not going to be there. And I also like Kirby Smart at Georgia. I need to know that.
Right.
So what do you think about that, Deion?
I do think there's something going on. I just don't know what. He's not talking about it.
What can it be if you lose 14 pounds of weight, you're not telling anybody? The C word?
I mean, there's, rumors going around. There's something going on there, but he's never confirmed it. And I understand why. I mean, that's just another pressure cooker and just, being in recruiting and stuff like that until you're being treated or even diagnosed. What do you say?
And he won't even comment on it.
No, he's kind of not denying it, but not addressing it either. So, I think there's something going on there. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Hopefully it's nothing bad.
Yeah.
He's a good man. Number 11, Houston. Number 12, Cincinnati. Number 13, Oklahoma. Remember when Oklahoma State was pretty dang good? That thing's...
About 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The one that I was thinking about when you were reading the list is TCU.
Same thing.
3 years ago, TCU was playing for the national championship. Now they're number 7 in the Big 12.
They only got beat 63-3.
Yeah.
But somehow they beat Michigan when they knew that they were stealing their sign.
They did beat Michigan. Yeah. This shows you when you don't cheat, you're not as good.
When you try and they trick you.
Michigan Eddie. Anyway, Oklahoma State. But you know what got him? When he lied. And I like Gundy, but when he folded to the woke, he had a shirt on. It was very positive, publican type thing.
It wasn't even that controversial.
It wasn't a big deal, and he just wouldn't stand up for what he believed. He gave in to these fake people.
Yep.
Never will I give in to them. Number 14, West Virginia. Number 15, UCF, which has got.
I thought West Virginia was a little higher. And what's his name back there? Rich Rod.
Yeah, we'll see.
The guy can coach, man.
Number 16, Arizona. You got Arizona State number 1, and the other team in the same state is the very bottom. So that's what they think is going to happen in the Big 12. And they came out and said they want more than 2 teams to have automatic bids to the Big 12.
I don't think any team should get looking at that list.
From that list, 2? No, I'm going to say no.
What happened the last time you guys got in there? I'm with you. Why don't they just go the top 16 teams, your top 16 ranked teams? We don't care what conference you come from. We don't care if you win a conference championship. If you're ranked, if you're worthy, you're in. Why do we reward weak-ass conferences? Why don't we do that? I'm sorry.
Participation trophy. Money, viewership, not leaving teams out.
Viewership. I didn't want to watch any of those games.
I didn't either, but I'm just going off what the committee says.
Yeah. So you don't want to watch Iowa State and Boise State?
No, or Southern Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I'd watch Southern Mississippi. That's a lot. I'd watch them. Anyway, Jason, again, you got a great business down there. If I'm telling you, get older, you can't sleep, they can take care of that. You get older, certain things don't work, they can take care of that. You want your cholesterol to go down naturally, they can do that. I did it. I was on these cholesterol pills, and everything you take from a doctor, there's side effects. You want to do natural things. And, go down and visit with him. Now, if you're an athlete, you're a parent out there driving around, you got a son or daughter involved in sports, you need to go sit down and visit with him. It's so much harder now to get a scholarship. The days athletes, and you're a high school athlete, to get a scholarship now, the percentage of getting one is crazy low compared to what it used to be. And it used to be tough in the past because you're going against all these transfer athletes.
Yeah, and
which they know.
Major.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a 6-figure contract now coming out of high school, so that's hugely competitive to get a scholarship now.
Go down and visit with him. If you get any kind of edge, you got an edge. You got an advantage. Go take advantage. We got a great guy here in this town.
And one thing they can do for free is come down and use the InBody, because that's just tracking your results. So whether you use products from my store or on a diet plan from a friend or another coach, come down and use that InBody because it shows your skeletal muscle, your percent body fat. It shows your baseline metabolic rate, which is how many calories you burn at rest. It shows the visceral fat, the fat you can't see. So it's a huge tool. It's like a DEXA scan. They're expensive, but we got them at all max fits that people can use it to kind of track the results and see that they're getting results in what direction they're going.
All right, let's talk about a couple more of our wonderful people, and we got to take a break. Stevenson Air Conditioning. The heat is here. We don't care. We got Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason's highly intelligent. Got 2 units, one for the business, one for his house. Same thing, Dr. Mitchell. Same thing for myself. Stevenson Air Conditioning is number 1. Not even close. If you have any kind of problem, call Jason. Locals, taking care of locals down the Panhandle, Florida. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. Same thing, B4 Braze. The B4 Braze owner, Pat Purnell, City Commissioner, Lynn Haven.
His 2 days ago.
He's smart. His restaurant's unbelievable. Get out to B4 Braze, have a great time.
It looks great.
The legendary Jay Michaels. I will be there today. The special today is Chris Fish, grilled fish, peppers, onions over bed of rice, and a special sauce. It's incredible. Go try the draft beer. That's the only place you'll ever go to get draft beer. It's incredible. We're right back. 104.3. We got James in the building. We got Jim Bob, and we got Jason Bob. 104.3 ESPN. Yeah, I said it. The Buckeye Twins are here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
The Steelers are officially all in. I heard that a lot yesterday because they got Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and tight end Jonnu Smith. Well, if they're all in, that's a pair of eights. Okay, that ain't pocket aces, folks. So if that's all in.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, and a high of 87 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, mostly clear skies and a low near 81. Tomorrow, mixture of mostly sunshine and a possibility of thunderstorms and a high around 87. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Mothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Deion said, I told you it's none of your business. I'm really not going to tell you much. I'm not going to talk about my health. I'm living good. I'm loving life. Not a care in the world. And Randy goes, I told you it's none of your business. Anyway.
Didn't Deion have half of his foot taken off during the last
and he had blood clots and stuff. He's had all kind of issues, man.
So it's a vascular kind of issue, either that or it's a diabetic issue.
I was going to say, that could be diabetes.
Could be diabetes.
Yeah.
But if it's something like that, why would you, hey, I got diabetes and I got to get it under control. Why make people wonder, is it something else?
I don't know. Some people are just...
Could it be something else?
Some people are just private.
And what are they going to do with recruiting? He's not going to be there. He won't.
Well, he doesn't go to anybody's house anyway, so...
That's true. That's true. He's been, yeah, that's true. All right, where am I? What are we doing? Again, a shout out to our superintendent. I'll tell you what, McQueen, I don't know if y'all... We had Josh in here yesterday, County AD. And we told him we thanked him for what's a wonderful job. So, you know, school starts back, I think, August 11th. If you see a teacher out there today that you know, hey, that's a teacher over there. That's an administrator over there. That's the superintendent. That's the school board member. Go up and tell them, great job. They have turned this district around. Unbelievable. It's been 17 years since this has happened. We had no D's, no F's. Great job by the students of Bay County. God bless you kids. You did a great job. But the teachers, man, and we're not paid very well here in this county. We got to get that straightened out. We got to get competition makes you better. Hire better teachers, makes the teachers we have here work even harder to keep their jobs. We got to pay them better, but unbelievable. Great job by the superintendent. No D's, no F's. All the grades, just about these schools that were F schools were brought up to C's and B's. Can't say enough good things about what's going on in Bay District schools. Great job, guys. All the coaches out there now going through this heat, getting these guys ready. Josh talked about it. So you go in the weight rooms across this county, they're loaded down with athletes. Everybody's working hard, which is a good thing. They're not out getting in trouble. They're early in the mornings working hard. They're there late at night working hard. So God bless all these athletes in here in Bay County. Alabama, best bet to crack 10 wins in 2025. Here are a couple teams that the expert thinks that, you know, some of them we know. Texas, Ohio State, you know, we're not going to waste on that. These are the ones that they think they will get to 10 wins this year. And I think one was pretty obvious also. At number 1 was Alabama. They're plus 100. Now, you got to remember, they're at Georgia. They got LSU at home. The 2 toughest games. That's 2 games they could lose. So the experts are saying they could go 10-2, and there's their 10 wins. And then we're talking regular season. We're not talking bowl games, okay? So remember that. One reason I do feel pretty comfortable or feel better about Alabama, you got Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator, that Nick Saban tried to hire him away from DeBoer, and he wouldn't come. DeBoer finally got in there. I think that's huge. Alabama has a 65% chance to win 10 games this year. So we shall see. They're at Georgia on September 27th. They're at Missouri on October 11th. They open up with FSU. They're at South Carolina. Watch out for that game. At South Carolina. South Carolina almost beat Alabama at home last year. That game's October 25th. And the end of the year, if Auburn's ranked, there's no way Alabama will win. They're at Auburn on November 29th. Georgia, South Carolina, Auburn, those 3 teams right there, I think got a good shot of beating them. I put LSU on that list too. I can see Bama going 9-3. Tennessee's plus 250. I'm sorry, plus 240 to win 10 games. Georgia, at Alabama, and Florida. That's 3 teams right there that they could lose to. That's just 3. Their schedule's not as tough as some of the other teams in the SEC.
Yeah, but what are they going to look at quarterback, especially after everything that happened off season? So,
and Oklahoma, that's a huge game. We have time. We'll talk more about that. I don't know if we have time to do it today.
I don't get the hype there, but we'll talk about that later.
I'm going to say I kind of think they're not going to get to 10. I think 9 is the level.
I don't think Tennessee is this year. No, I think if they get to 8 or 9, that's a great coaching job considering everything that happened in the offseason.
Right.
They're recruiting actually really well. They've landed some big-time recruits over the last 2-3 weeks. Big time.
If they get into Tuscaloosa and beat them, they got a shot to get to 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, number 3, I think it's a done deal. I don't even know why they're on the list. I think they're in the same category as Texas and Ohio State and Penn State. Penn State's minus 275 to get in there. Listen to this, they got Rutgers. Now, the toughest game they've got on the schedule, Ohio State. I think that's at Ohio State.
Yeah, it's at
it is.
Columbus.
They're at Iowa and Ohio State. Ohio State's going to get to 10 wins. I think it'll be really good.
I think this.
They got Oregon this year?
No. Talking about Ohio State or Penn State?
No, Penn State. Do they got Oregon?
No, they do not have Oregon.
Yeah, they're there. They're going to get to 10. I really believe that. Michigan, I don't see Michigan get to 10. I don't. They're plus 140. You want to go bet some money? Go bet the house. Michigan does not get 10 wins. I don't see them winning 10 games.
We just don't know what the rest of the offseason is going to look like for them.
You're going to start a true freshman quarterback. You're going to have we don't even know what's going to happen in the next 6 weeks.
All right, let me say this again for those who don't pay attention out there. Okay, if they get hammered, which is a very good possibility, and their coach gets whacked, okay, the window opens immediately for 30 days. All their players, all those guys that were by, this guy's coming, okay, great, that's wonderful. But if your coach gets whacked and he leaves,
bye.
There's open season on all of them.
Yeah.
Hey, come on back.
And if they're as good as you claim that they are, then you don't think some of those guys are going to get poached? I'm going to say this again. I don't know how you can rank Michigan high when you don't know what they're and punishment's going to be.
Right.
Something's going to happen. It's not just going to go away. It means something is going to happen.
But I think on paper they're an 8-9 win team. I still don't think they get the 10.
I don't think they get to 10.
I think Underwood's a good quarterback, but a true freshman. I mean, he struggled a little bit in the spring game, but they got a really good running back tandem. They got a good offensive line. They got a solid defense. So their schedule's not that tough. That Oklahoma game's going to be big for them.
At number 5, Kansas State plus 200. Who cares?
I was going to say.
We don't even, whatever.
Who?
Whatever. I hope you do. I hope you do.
Yeah.
But I'm not real thrilled about that team. We got a couple of minutes. Athlon's top 10 games. This is by their magazine. They think these are top 10 games. Coming at number 10, I'm going to go pretty quick because we got a break coming up. At number 10, Penn State at Ohio State, November 1st. That's the top 10 game in the country. Yes. Number 9. Arizona State at Iowa State, November 1. Can you believe that's over? That's better than Ohio State, Michigan.
I tried to hold it in, but come on.
At number 8, Alabama, LSU at Alabama, November, whatever it is, November. At number 7, Yeah, Oregon at Penn State. That's pretty big. September 27th.
So they do play each other. That's a good game.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. And number 6, and this was last year the biggest game of the year, regular season, they said, Alabama at Georgia, September 27th. So they got a lot of good games on September 27th. Number 5, Notre Dame at Miami, August 31st. How can that game be bigger than Penn State, Ohio State? I don't get that. The top 4 biggest games of college football 2025. Ohio State at Michigan on November 29th. Texas at Georgia, November 15th. LSU at Clemson, August 30th. That's a big game, but I wouldn't have it at number 2.
They're just hyping Clemson up like nobody's
they're getting a lot of
business.
love. Hey, I love Dabo.
Dabo's getting
I like Dabo.
Get him, baby. Get him, Dabo. At number 1, and I do agree with this, week 1, Texas at Ohio State. How'd you like that rankings?
I thought it was solid. I would move a couple around, but get Arizona State and whoever out of there. I don't know.
Arizona State, Iowa State.
That shouldn't be in the top 15.
Iowa State has to be the most boring team in the country to watch. I mean, it's just terrible football to watch. I'm not saying they're bad at it. I'm just saying to watch it on TV for 3 hours makes me fall asleep.
Yeah, I would have over that anything. I have Texas A&M at Texas, and I don't know how good A&M's going to be. So anyway, that's your top 10 games according to Athlon Magazine. Let's talk about some of our wonderful, outstanding, unbelievable, wonderful people. You need to go visit them, go support them because they're incredible. David Adams, designer jewelry. Go. Julie and Jamie were over there yesterday. They had a wonderful time. Russ and Amber can design anything you want. They can build it. You got a piece of your jewelry that's chipped off, that's just kind of messed up. You take it to Russ. They'll fix it, and they'll get it done. They don't ship it off for a month. They do it right there in-house. They're incredible. If you haven't been there, you're making a big-time mistake. Don't go waste thousands of dollars at some other jewelry store. Go here. It's out in Lynn Haven. Go out to Beef Brady's, head on down to David Adams, see Russ, see Amber. You'll be glad you did. Skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop it. If you're a female, put the lotion on. Protect their skin, and females have to worry about breast cancer, skin cancer. Dr. Ward has offices throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Go by and see him. The guy is incredible. Listen to Dr. Ward every Wednesday, 7:30, right here. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. We went there Wednesday night, had a great time. Saw David in there. He's also opened up a brand new one over there in Front Beach Road, 10908 Front Beach Road. Please park in the back. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, the place had birthday parties. Last night they had karaoke. I tell you, this place is awesome. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Have you ever wanted to reach out and smack someone?
Sit your ass down and shut up!
Call or text the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida with your rants, hot takes, picks, and takedowns.
This is unacceptable at the University of Alabama.
This could go 7 games. You've got to have a bad game at some point.
The Red 70s studio line, 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Get in the game.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7Ts. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7ts.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials, Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive across from the Navy base.
And 10908 Front Beach Road.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evening 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bum, 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 bum. Florida State. Woo! Get out to newbies, have a great time. John and Charlotte always give back to the community. They always help out. Fire departments, universities, you name it. They do it all. They're wonderful people. They've been in business for over 50 years. It's incredible. Newbies 2 on the curve. Go watch all sporting events. Head down to the mothership, the best entertainment in the Southeast every weekend, especially through the summer. I'd say almost every single night. Charlotte's going to get you the best entertainment. That's the reason people always come down here. Legendary place. You'll see people you hadn't seen in years. You get out there and have a wonderful time. Tell them Coach sent you. They got a brand new one over in town in St. Andrews, a beautiful blue building, great facility there. Now, Jim, we've been talking about this. If you're an FSU fan, you need to put your antennas up and you need to listen to this. If they do this, they're going to destroy themselves. Tell us the latest in Tallahassee, Florida, what they're trying to accomplish. And I think it's a good idea. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, this is kind of, there's a lot of moving parts to this, okay? Now the NCAA has said that the colleges themselves are responsible. They get $20 million a year, and they can divvy it up among athletes as they see fit. Okay, we're just talking about the football part of it. Okay, and I saw this yesterday, and I said, "What?" And I looked again this morning. It's like maybe I was drinking. No, it's what it is. And I'm going to make it simple. Florida State wants to make it where their players can be held accountable for negative behavior. Okay?
Wow.
So let's say you're up on Florida State's program. They give you a laptop with all their stuff on it, okay? And I'm reading this, okay? I'm not making this up. I'm reading this, okay? It says, for instance, an athlete can be charged up to $2,500 for losing equipment or face total contract termination due to injury.
Due to injury.
When I heard that last one, I'm saying, holy smokes. You talk about something that could have big-time I mean, I played college football. I've coached college football. And as far as I can know, there was never a time when a kid got hurt and they took away his scholarship. That just never happened.
It killed the program.
Yeah, I'll give you a real example. I think it was my sophomore year in college. We had a kid come in as a defensive lineman. He got hurt the very first contact he ever had in college. You can't see my hands, but he was like this in his legs, and somebody fell on his knee.
Yeah.
And his knee went like to the ground.
God. Pretty common.
Now, they kept him around as like a video guy, just to
right.
Because it wasn't his fault he got hurt. So how can you take away somebody's money when he gets hurt? Now, I could see if he was doing something crazy, like so many of them do, like speeding
right.
or doing something illegal after hours.
Playing basketball.
Yeah, I mean, just doing something that he shouldn't be doing. He should know that. But to take away your money, to take away your scholarship because you got hurt, or fine you $2,500 because you lost
a computer.
I don't know that it's a laptop. I'm just thinking, what would cost that much?
Right.
A laptop or something.
Maybe shoulder pads.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is going to go in. And Urban Meyer and Mark Ingram, who both have pretty good insight in college football, said, "How can they do this? Because you're cutting your nose off to spite your face."
Right.
So, Jason, we want you to come to Florida State, but if you do this, we could fine you and we could take away some of your money.
But if you get hurt, we're not paying you.
And you're going to say, heck no, I'm not doing that. I'll go to Miami. I'll go to the U. I'll go to Gators. I don't know that this is the final word, but goodness gracious, they need to think this one through.
So this is my problem with this. I mean, all these teams are trying to figure out what this NIL era is about. They're all having conversations with their GMs, with their money people, but they're having it behind closed doors. And I'm sure other schools have had conversations like this because they're trying to, maintain their NIL money, maintain the money, and there's not unlimited funds. But when you let that get out into the public, domain, and other recruits are hearing people say this, you're just destroying your own program, and I just don't get it. I mean, Florida State, I think Mike Norvell's a great guy, but over the last 2 years, I don't think I've seen such a fall from grace as from Florida State 13-0 to that Georgia loss to what we've seen last year till now. Because let's be honest, their high school recruiting has been abysmal over the last 2 years, and that's really what's killed the program. They've made some mistakes in the portal. I just don't know how this sees the light of day. I mean, these are conversations you should be having behind closed doors, and eventually all this is going to get, worked out in the wash with these collective bargaining agreements that are coming up and the way they're going to have to structure this, because I think the NCAA is allowing this to go off the rails just so somebody will step in and say, hey, this is how we have to do it here forward, whether it's
that
Congress.
Could be. I don't know.
But they're just, every time something happens in court and the NCAA gets sued, they lose. So why would they even attempt to try to regulate college football right now? So
yeah, I would. I'm not a lawyer by any stretch of the imagination, but I would think if you're a player at Florida State and we take away your scholarship, we take away your money because you got hurt through no fault of your own, you could sue the crap out of us.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's just me, and I'm not a lawyer.
When you were talking about that, it brought me back, and this was back in the 80s. Pat Turner played center for us. Great player. Everybody's going after him. Jimmy Johnson signed him at Miami, and Pat's driving over to Vero Beach from Lake Wells, Florida. They get in a wreck, him and his girlfriend. He got almost killed in the wreck, had pins in his leg, everything. Never played again, couldn't play again. Dad devastated, everything. Jimmy Johnson said, hey, he's coming to Miami. He can help us coach. He can help run the program. He's got a scholarship.
Yeah.
This is way back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson he cared about people. Jimmy Johnson's a great man.
A lot of them old school coaches were. I mean, they were hardcore, but I mean, they cared about their players, and that's why they're allowed to be hard on them, because the players knew they cared about them. You can't just yell and scream in somebody's face if you don't have that
I'm
respect.
like you. I don't know what the end game of this is all going to be. I don't know if this is actually something they're thinking about doing or really are going to do for sure. But man, so you're going to start fighting everybody?
For me, the whole thing, like if you want to look at the 80s, it was more student athlete then, and now it is athlete student, and I think that's the big problem that we're looking at right now.
I think we get rid of the word student altogether, to be honest.
What do they do in the NFL if you're under a contract and you get hurt and you can't play anymore? What do they do with them then? Because we're heading everything towards the NFL. What the NFL's doing? I get where they're coming from about if you lose something, hey, you're not going to be a nut, just throw things away and lose it. We're not going to deal with that. I kind of get that discipline they're trying to put in there. But the injury part of it, I'm like you. Why would you even put that in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
That didn't make any sense at all.
And it didn't really.
And it's not the final.
Yeah, it didn't say specifically in black and white, but it also makes me think there's got to be, if that's the road they're going down, then the next part of that is going to be performance-based. Well, let's see, Jason, you played against Boston College, you missed this many tackles, you did this, so we're going to prorate your NIL for this month, and you're only going to get this much. That has to be part of that.
For sure. Every team does that already. You think Jeremiah Smith makes more than the backup center? Of course he does.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're allowed to pay you whatever they want. They can take that $20 million and let's say, Adrian Peterson in his prime comes down there. They can give him $5 million of that $20 million just because they know how good he is. So every kid's not getting the same amount of money.
Didn't you see the committee's already knocked down a bunch of these offers, NIL offers?
70% of the NIL deals have been denied. Now they're going to resubmit them, but so what happens when a true freshman comes in? What they're looking at is fair market value. Like a true freshman has no market value for his name, image, likeness. Nobody knows who they are. They've never played a down of football. The Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams that already's been established. Adidas can go sign them for $15 million because that's fair market value. Those kids are going to make money in the NFL. They got endorsements, so that money doesn't go against the cap. But when they come in as freshmen, you can't just go sign these kids for $5-10 million anymore and say, oh, that's fair market value. If the committee denies that, then it goes against the cap. If they don't, that's just NIL. I mean, that's their fair market value. They're allowed to profit off name, image, and likeness, and that's why it was set up. Some of these teams just aren't following the rules. They think they can win in court, like USC, Texas. I mean,
I think Hugh Freeze has pointed that out. I think That's what he was talking about.
Some of these teams that think they're
green?
just gave up, they don't ran out of money. That's not the case, because when you get a team like
He was
Auburn,
on the golf course talking about
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but when you got a team like Auburn that already has a bunch of 5-stars on their roster, that $20 million went to them. Now this year they can't sign anybody. A team like USC, they didn't have any upperclassmen that were worth signing, so they could go out and sign a bunch of freshmen.
Yeah.
So their $20 million is being allocated to that class coming in. But next year they're going to have to pay those guys, and next year they're not going to be able to pay those guys. So it's super complicated. I don't think anybody really knows what's going on. I've heard 5 different coaches describe it. Deion even talked about he didn't know what was going on, that he didn't even know there was a cap right now. So I don't think anybody knows what's going on. And I think if you challenge this in court, there's no way that they're going to be able to uphold it.
You know, I'll never forget this. This was happening. I think I might have been at that game. I think we went to that game in Birmingham. It was a player from TCU playing in Legion Field, Alabama back in, I want to say, 75. I could be wrong on the year. He got hit high and low and hit his head just perfectly, and he broke his neck. He was paralyzed. Coach Bryant in the University of Alabama bought him a van, special van for needs. They helped with his bills. He gave his family the Paul Bryant Scholarship. Anybody ever play with Coach Bryant got to go free there. Well, Mal Morton made sure when that guy's kids were older, they all went to Alabama because it was free. They made him like, you're one of us now. You're one of our players. They did more for the kid than TCU did. The guy, when he was live, talked about it. Said, Alabama, Coach Bryant did more for me. University of Alabama did more for me financially than my own school. So, and it made me, when you're talking about injuries, that made me think about that. When they get hurt, how they're treated and what goes on. But we saw guys at Southern Mississippi get hurt. I saw a bone go all completely through. A guy from Atmore, Alabama, got hit kind of like that. Good running back. He wasn't really big, but because if he would have been big, he'd have gone to Alabama. But he was really good, but not just that big. But he got hit just right. The bone, you can see the bone through the sock and blood everywhere. That he never played again. But they kept him on scholarship.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I just, when I saw that, like my antennas went up. It's like, what? I mean, that just goes against every experience I ever had as a player or a coach. It's like, you don't do that. You just don't. You just don't cut them loose.
But you got to have some type of rules. Like, if I had them on a contract, it'd be, you got to go to class so many times. You got to make certain grades. You got to make your workouts. You got to play in the bowl game. You got to do all these certain things. Then if they don't, you can get rid of them. You got to have some kind of wording in there to cover your butt.
Right.
But that one there, I just can't believe. Like Urban Meyer said, that's just stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
The stupid part is that came out. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, all these teams are having these conversations.
Everybody's going to use that against them.
Oh, for sure.
Go there?
But all these teams have to have these conversations.
They're
right
not
now.
done. They're going to address that.
Right.
They're going to get that straightened out. I would think, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some of our great people. I tell you what, newbies, get out and see John and Charlotte. Tell them we sent you there. Newbies on the Curve, FSU update. Get the mothership. Have a great time. Hey, Chad Mitchell, this is his 26th year. The legendary Chad Mitchell. Doctor is incredible. One of the first ones trained in robotic surgery. He can do it all. The guy is unbelievable. People from all around come just to have Chad to operate on them. You don't have to be a super athlete to go see Chad Mitchell. Call, make an appointment. He'll see anybody. The guy is incredible. Listen to Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend, every Monday right here on the ESPN Northwest Florida. Steve's Bike Shop. You're talking about a great business, local business. 50-something, 1979 he started it. He's a great swim coach at Mosley. The guy's incredible. The electrical bikes are taking over the world. They'll work on them. They sell them. The old-fashioned, the electric. They got it all. I'm going to go buy one for my granddaughter. Not electric, but a 10-speed. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Big Ten. Let's talk about the Big Ten when we get back.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, and a high of 87 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, mostly clear skies and a low near 81. Tomorrow, mixture of mostly sunshine and a possibility of thunderstorms and a high around 87. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Let's see. Diamond stud earrings for Marcy, Bulova watch for Tommy, tennis bracelet for Cassie, and Keith wants a 14-karat chain. Oh, and Hannah wants those white gold hoop earrings.
Okay, guys, Santa gave me his list. He knows that Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the largest selection and lowest prices you'll find anywhere. We've stopped the cases, slashed the prices, and we're offering a free 6-month layaway on our entire jewelry selection. For a stress-free holiday, Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where Santa shops.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Now that's a spicier food demo!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. A beautiful Friday here. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you for listening. Keep it here all day long. We're out. Have a great day. All right, let's get into the Big Ten. This is the latest. The latest. Now, we got Fox, we got ESPN, we got 24/7, we got Rivals, we got all kind of things to talk
James
about.
Hale.
We got the James Hale Show right here, right up there with all of them. All right, the latest. This is how the ESPN latest computers, gurus, win-loss, over-under, Big Ten. Let's start with the number one team, the defending national champs. Here's what the experts think. I think they're going to go over, but they got Ohio State finishing this year 10-2 regular season. Their over-under is 10.5. So ESPN experts, wonder why. They got them only winning 10, not 11. Jim Durant, do they go over the 10-2? Or a 10.5, they get to 11, or are they going to go 10-2?
I honestly don't think they'll be undefeated. They'll be good. They got a ton of players. Nobody knows about them, but they got a lot of really good players.
Yeah.
But even as good as they were last year, they didn't go undefeated.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot that can happen. I mean,
yeah.
And it's hard to repeat. We talked about, a couple years ago, you said, well, Georgia's going to win 3 in a row. I said, well, if it was that easy, everybody would do it. And it didn't happen. So repeating, I'd love for them to do that, but I don't know. I think 10 is about where they should be. I think they're going to lose 1 or 2.
I think they get to 11. What do you think?
It's going to be tough. You got Texas, you got Penn State. They got to get the Michigan monkey off their back. Illinois this year. I mean, going to Wisconsin at times can be a tough, game, especially if it's a trap game. So Big Ten's not as easy as it used to be, and playing Texas out of conference is a huge game. So I can see 10-2. I will say this: if Julian Sands, who we think he is, I think this is going to be a super dangerous team when it comes to playoff time. So I don't think it matters if it's 10-11 wins. And I think this is the best offensive line they've had coming into a season probably in a decade.
To me, I look at it, they got 2 games. They got Penn State and they got Texas. If they split that, they go 11-1.
But they go to Michigan, and I know you can throw the records out. We said this for 5 years.
They'll get it off their. They'll win it this year.
They got to. He's got to, just personally, and I want to see it for Ryan Day because I think he's a tremendous coach. Outside of the Michigan game, you can't really fault him for anything, really.
At number 2, Penn State and the Lions, they got them going 10-2, 10.5 over under. I say they're at 10-2.
I did too. I didn't know they had Oregon this year, but they got Oregon and then go to Ohio State.
Yeah,
so
Ohio State could get them.
Franklin wins 10 games every year. I mean,
that's
not
a real reach. Yeah, he wins 10 every year. Like
anybody say 11-1?
I could see it just because they are super talented, but again, I'm not a big believer in Aller, and Franklin just does some strange stuff in big time games sometimes. So that's my only pause.
I will say this: though, we used to say, y'all didn't, but we used to always say the same thing about Ron Day, and he finally.
No, I agree 100%.
Sooner or later, he's going to get it done.
I just don't know what Oregon's going to look like this year. This is the one team we haven't really talked a lot about.
Oregon's 10-2. They got Oregon going 10-2, 10.5 over under. 10-2. I looked at their schedule, and it wasn't as bad as it was. They don't have Ohio State. They got Penn State, and I forgot the rest of them. But I just remember it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah, and they got a lot of talent. I mean, they've recruited as good as anybody the last 2-3 years. I mean,
best money can buy.
Phil Knight money, so that's always a good thing. And
what do you think? 10-2, 11-1.
I'm gonna go 10-2. I don't think anybody's gonna go 11-1.
Okay. All right. I got Ohio State going 11-1. I got everybody else going 10-2. Michigan 8-4. I think that's about right.
Yeah, I mean, just based on the team they have now without any off-the-field stuff, I do think that's a talented team. I think they're just young, and we just don't know what Moore is as a coach. You know, last year was a little bit of an anomaly, so this year there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to win, take the next step, so let's see what happens.
Over-under on Oregon was 10.5. Over-under for Michigan was 9.5, and ESPN says they only get to 8-4. I think they're kind of in the same ballpark you are. They think things could fall apart.
Yeah,
you got to win an 8? Or what do you think?
I'd say 8 would be a really good year for them.
8-7, yeah.
8 wins. That would be a great year for Coach Moore and for Michigan just to build on.
This team's starting to get some love. Southern Cal, they got them over-unders only 7.5, but they got them going over. They got the experts, got them going 8-4. I wish I had all their schedules in front of me. They got Notre Dame every year, and they don't have Ohio State this year. I don't think they have Penn State this year. I don't think they have Penn State this year, so I do think they got Oregon. I can see that. I think 8-4 for sure.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
This is kind of my sleeper team. If you watch what they've done the last 2 years in recruiting, they've really cranked up the NIL, and they've landed some big-time transfers.
Did you see their schedule?
No, I'm trying to pull it up here.
USC, the big games for USC coming up this year, it looks like Michigan at Notre Dame.
They do have Illinois right before Michigan.
At Oregon.
They don't have Penn State. They don't have Ohio State. Yeah,
no Penn State, no Ohio State.
They're going to get 8 wins. They're going to get they might get more than that.
They might sneak into the playoffs with that schedule.
I like that schedule. Nebraska, they're starting to get some love. They got them at 7.5, and they got going 7-5. What do you think?
I think they may go better than that.
I think they do better. I think they win 8.
They better. I mean,
Matt Rule's a good coach.
I think they get to 8.
I think they get more than that.
Indiana, I think it falls apart. I don't think they're going to go like they did this last year. They got them over under 8.5. The ESPN experts got them going 7-5. Can they do better than 7-5, Indiana? No, they're not going to. People are going to be ready for them this year.
Yeah, they're not going to sneak up on anybody.
I just think they're pretty good, though. I mean, they got a good quarterback. They got a good wide receiver, one of the best in the Big Ten. So
they had an easy schedule last year.
Yeah, they got a pretty easy schedule this year. So I think 8 wins.
8 wins. Okay, so you got them over. Washington could be better. They're 7.5 over under, and they got them going 7-5. Minnesota 6-6. They got them going over under 6.5. They got them under at 6. I think he just got an extension.
He deserved it. I mean, it's hard to win at Minnesota. I mean, they don't have tons of money for NIL, and he can coach.
Don't have tons of athletes to choose from either.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to number 10, Bielema. They got over under 6.5. They got them going 6-6. I think they're going to do at least 8-4.
They got Illinois at 6-6.
6-6.
Let me go place a bet real quick. I'll be right back.
Well, pull their schedule up. Pull the schedule.
Way over on that. Bielema can coach, man.
Iowa. I was consistent, man. They're going to win 8 games every. They got them going 7-5 over under. They got Iowa going 6-6. I think they're over. Yeah. Maryland 5-7. They're over under. It's only 4.5. You think Maryland gets to 5 wins?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Do I care? No. And these other ones I don't care a whole lot about. Rutgers 5-7. Okay, whatever. Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's going to be better this year. They changed the offense up. They only got them at 5.5 over under. They got them going 5-7. I think they do better than that. Don't you?
I would think.
Yeah, I legitimately think Illinois can win 9 games with this schedule. They got Western Illinois, Duke, Western Michigan, Indiana, USC, Purdue. They do got Ohio State at home, Washington, Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, Northwestern.
Go put your mortgage. Go put all your money on right now. Illinois, they're gonna win more than 6 games.
I can't believe that's the over under on them.
Crazy.
6.5 was over and under, and the ESPN's got them going under. UCLA, they got a 5.5 point over/under. They got them going 5-7. Michigan State, they got them going 5-7. Northwestern 4-8, and Purdue at the bottom going 3-9. So we shall see how it plays out. That's everything we've got on the Big Ten for today. I ain't got time to get that done. Let's take a break right now. We get back. We got Jeff Spiegel from the great state of Alabama. Everything you need to know about Alabama, Auburn. Hey, do you see your yard? Do you want your yard to look better? Call Patrick. He'll come out. Your yard look absolutely beautiful. You got bugs getting in your house? Call Patrick. There'll be no bugs in the house. I'm telling you that right now. The guy's incredible. Listen to Patrick every Monday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Turf Pro Pest Control, #1. Kyle Vandergriff, where are you? I miss you. Kyle, call me. Where are you at? I thought you were coming. Vandy Roofing. You want a great roof, you go Vandy Roofing. You want a great job, you go Vandy Roofing. You know what? They can do it all, though. General contracting, they can design it, they can build it, commercial, residential, you name it. But if you're looking for a great roof, it's Vandy Roofing. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, and a high of 87 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, mostly clear skies and a low near 81. Tomorrow, mixture of mostly sunshine and a possibility of thunderstorms and a high around 87. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Reach out, call and just say hi. Give them a call.
Phone lines are open. 850-215-6290. The Coach James Hale Show is taking your calls live and local. From the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tide Roll Alabama Update is brought to you by the legendary Stevenson Air Conditioners. Locals, taking care of locals throughout the Panhandle of Florida. If you have a problem, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Don't sit there and play those high bills and house be warm, uncomfortable, can't sleep at night. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll come out, they'll service it. It'll run better, and it's going to save you money in your power bill. If you got to get a new one, that's the only thing you can truly buy that actually pay for itself over a period of time, because your power bill goes down. Don't go with some national brand. Go with locals. Go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. Let's bring on, and this guy's not local, this guy's not regional, this guy's national. This guy is incredible. The one and only Jeff Spiegel out of the great state of Alabama. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I am doing great. Great to hear that beautiful voice. Did you have a good, happy 4th of July?
I did. How about you guys? Did you go to any fireworks? And I hope you were careful when you shut off those Roman candles.
Jeff, I had experience back in the day, and I had a cherry bomb blow up my hands, and ever since it changed my life.
Been the same since.
Yeah, it hadn't been the same. So I tried to stay away from those.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you heard Najee Harris suffered an eye injury over like a little fireworks accident. It was kind of superficial. But apparently there were several people he was, celebrating the 4th with, and several people were injured. Those fireworks things, man, are dangerous.
No, the real story in that, I was in Vietnam, and I dove on a grade and grabbed it, and that's what happened. No, I'm lying about everything. Hey, what did you do? Did you go to the Met? Did you go to the Met the day before the 4th and watch the fireworks there, or did you just stay home?
Actually, I had to work all week. So Friday I'm in the sports office, and I hear them going off, in the neighborhood next door and all that. And then, but it was kind of low key for me. I kind of, worked and didn't really do much firework watching.
What is the place called if you're going down 150 maybe, and you go down the road and you take a left, go to the Met? I can't think of the name of the road. And they got a shopping center there. They got all those restaurants.
Yeah.
We went there. We always go. They got a new pizza place in there. That pizza's incredible. They got a lunch special. You get one slice and a drink for so much. We went there, and then later the next day, I think we went at the Mexican place over there. The food was incredible, really good. They got a lot of good places. Yeah, they got a lot of good places over there.
Yeah, it's a really cool place to live in terms of restaurants and things to do and all that. It's really awesome. I mean, we don't have a beach like you guys, but we got a lot of cool things.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, and I don't know, you might be aware of this, but we've had guys different part of the country very upset about what's going on with SEC Media Days. They felt like they've overpriced it. Hotel rooms cost a fortune. To park down there cost a fortune, and they're upset. So a lot of them are not even going. They're not even going to cover SEC Media Days. And this is, that what made the SEC with these local networks that love athletics, football, baseball, basketball, but especially football. And have you heard that? There really are some people up in Tennessee, up in Huntsville, different parts of the state of Alabama, Florida. People are upset. They're not sending anybody. They can't afford it. If you heard about it, or do you think the SEC commissioner's aware of it yet?
Well, I mean, if he's not, he's not as smart as I thought he was. Let me just talk from a TV standpoint, and I don't think this is just a company thing, but I think this is just local TV in general, is that we used to spend money like it was growing on trees. And we've really cut back in recent years. We're going to media days this year for the first time, I think, in 3 years, because, it was in Dallas one year, and I think it was in Nashville one year, and it's a pretty costly thing to undertake, to send a crew, out there. Mm-hmm. And so since it's in Atlanta and it's close, we're going. But I know a lot of TV stations who are kind of cutting back. And I know several TV stations who are going, as far as, Alabama stations, just Tuesday and Wednesday and not going Monday and not going Thursday. The lineup on Thursday is not that good. You got Missouri, Arkansas, Texas A&M. So we're going to go Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But I know a lot of people who won't be there Thursday. So Thursday may look like a ghost town in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, what do you think they're going to do for it? Are they going to try to, solve that problem? At Hoover, these people down here in Florida, they used to love going to Hoover. The hotels don't cost that much. Food's not that much expensive. You can park free. What they're charging to park in Atlanta is like highway robbery. It's like going to Disney World or something.
Yeah, I think SEC Media Days will continue, for many years to come. I don't know, and what the form of it, may change somewhat. I'm not really sure. I'm sure, Greg Sankey's got a pretty good, handle on that stuff. But definitely, times are kind of changing in terms of how it's covered and, the staff that stations send and all that stuff. And it's certainly affected us to some degree.
All right, going to SEC Media Days, Alabama's recruiting has been off the charts lately. They got more 5 stars than anybody else in college football. I think they got 4 or 5 4-stars, depending on what service you look at. Will that continue to go well? It's like Nick Saban's there now. Do you think the recruiting is going to continue to go, and can they keep them? Then you hear, we'll get about Auburn in the next segment. We'll talk about Auburn there. But what do you think the question is going to be for the board? First of all, hit on recruiting. What's your take on the recruiting right now? Then we'll ask you about coaching in a second.
Well, I think that'll be the key. Is you got all these 5 stars, and then you got 5 stars recruiting 5 stars, and now I mean you hit the nail on the head. Now you got to keep them in the fold until December. To the early signing period, right? And then, what's the big factor there? Well, you need to win on the field. If they go out on the field and they stub their toe, then, you might see some of those guys dropping off. But, all indications point to Alabama having a really, really good year, I think. And I think they could win a national championship. I think they're that good. So I think they're going to be able to hold on to these guys, and right now it's a stellar class.
He got excited.
Yeah, my Roll Tide thing jumped up there. All right, let's look at you just said they could be really good this year. USA Today's latest SEC projections, they got Bama winning 9.6 games. They got Texas winning 10.6, Georgia winning 10.1. And again, Alabama 9.6. And a lot of people are on the Texas bandwagon that they're going to win not just the SEC, they're going to win the national championship. Steve Spurrier made some good comments. I agree with a lot of stuff he said, and he took some heat for it. But Alabama, I think the 2 toughest games at home, the toughest game I think is going to be LSU. At Georgia, I think it's going to be a tough one. And then they go to Auburn, and Auburn's ranked. Alabama's not going to win. They never have. What's your take on Alabama this year? What games are you concerned? I'm telling you what, South Carolina, that's going to be a tough game going on the road, winning there. Missouri, 11 o'clock kickoff. I don't like these 11 o'clock kickoff games. What do you think? You just said they're going to be really good, could win it all. But what games are you really concerned with?
Well, I mean, pretty much the same ones that every Alabama fan's concerned about. I mean, the game at Georgia, the revenge factor there, the fact that, Alabama's had Kirby Smart's number, winning, 9 of the previous 10 or something like that. I can't remember what the streak is, but that's a concern. The LSU game, we've talked about LSU like ad nauseum on this show and how I'm not totally convinced. I'm not totally buying in on LSU yet. I think Brian Kelly's going to find a way to screw all that up. But that's going to be a big game. That'll be a big game at home. And I would say this, even though those are big games and even though those are losable games, don't forget, Georgia lost 2 games last year, found their way to the SEC championship, won the SEC championship, and got in the playoffs. So, in the playoff era, all because you lose 2 games doesn't mean you're out of the national championship picture.
Yeah, Ohio State lost 2 games and won the national championship. Yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what now, Tennessee with a quarterback makes me feel a little bit better about that. But we all know in the past, that game usually is a streak. One team wins it for a while, then the other team wins it for a while. And they beat us last year at home. We beat ourselves. I'll take that back. We beat ourselves. Our offensive coordinator beat us. The play calling in that game was pathetic, in my opinion. 50 passes against Tennessee. The interceptions we threw. But I am kind of concerned about that game. Anytime we play Tennessee, you got to be concerned. Do you think we're okay against Tennessee? You think that's going to be an easy one?
Well, I think, they're on a revenge tour. I mean, and the players have pointed this out. I mean, they called out Vanderbilt. When's the last time that's happened? When an Alabama, football player is
that's embarrassing.
Right?
That's embarrassing.
Sure it is. But Tennessee's on that list. Oklahoma's on that list. And so, they plan on taking care of business. And I would say this about the offense. I think the offense is going to be more consistent this year. I think they've got a quarterback they're more comfortable with. I think Ty Simpson is not going to be as mistake-prone as Jalen Milroe was. I think the passing numbers, you look at the numbers that Grubb and DeBoer put together in Washington in 2022 and 2023, like 355 a game. They led the FBS. Alabama had like 235 a game in passing yards last year. So the offense is going to be much more productive, much more efficient, and much less prone to give the ball to the other team.
All right, how much time we got?
Got about 4 minutes.
Oh, good. We got more time to talk about Alabama. What about running back position? I know we just got the number 2 running back in the nation, a 5-star kid we got committed. We lost a great one to Michigan. How good is the running back room? Because I honestly know we got one guy coming back, but how good is it? I know the receivers are really good. I think the offensive line should be really good. But how good is the running back room at Alabama?
I think it's really good. I'm starting with a guy who's going to be, trotting out there first. I think the right running back stayed. I've always preferred Jam Miller over Justice Haynes, and a guy that's pretty good catching the ball out of the backfield. Richard Young's back there. They've got A.K. Deere, the freshman, coming in. I don't know what the running back rotation is going to look like, but it wouldn't surprise me if Deere finds a way to get some touches, in there. And so, I like the running back room. I think they're deep there. I think, the offensive line is going to be terrific. I think the receivers are just, knock it out of the park good. And so, listen, let me just say this. Ty Simpson doesn't have to be great this year for Alabama to win a national championship. Now, he's got to be a little bit better than Jay Barker was back in 1992 when Alabama won the national championship.
Yeah.
But the rest of their offense and their defense is going to be so good, Coach, that I think that is really going to help Ty Simpson in his first year as a starter.
Yeah, the only question I have on Alabama's defense, the only concern I have, their pass rush. If they don't have to blitz to put pressure on the quarterback, they're going to be really good on the defensive side of the ball. But I don't know yet. What do you hear about the edge guys, the interior linemen? Are we going to have an outstanding pass rush without having to blitz?
Well, that's definitely going to have to be stepped up a little bit. I think they were pretty low when it came to the amount of sacks. Now, as Nick Saban used to say, sacks is not the be-all and end-all. It's just how uncomfortable can you make the quarterback.
Right.
And so they've got to do that. They've got to increase the discomfort, that the opposing quarterbacks feel. Sometimes that computes into sacks. Sometimes that computes into, hitting the guy in the jaw right after he lets go of the pass. And, so I think they're going to be better in that regard.
All right, we get back with Jeff. We're going to jump on the Auburn train. I still think Auburn's going to be good next year. I think they got players. The recruiting, he's taking a lot of hit on that. We'll talk about that when we get back with Jeff Spiegel. But right now, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. I want to thank Stevenson Air Conditioning for the Alabama update. If you're over in Lynn Haven, go see Pat Perno. The city commissioner over there does a great job. Great city. But he's got a restaurant, Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Go check it out. TV's everywhere. They treat you like family. The food's incredible. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. When you're out that way in Lynn Haven, you got to go see Russ and Amber. David Adams. You want some fine jewelry? David Adams. Russ and Amber can set you up. They do an incredible job over there. Skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If you have a problem, doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, make an appointment throughout the panhandle of Florida. Dr. Ward's got offices everywhere, and he loves seeing FSU fans. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straight away center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and a high of 87 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, mostly clear skies and a low near 81. Tomorrow, mixture of mostly sunshine and a possibility of thunderstorms and a high around 87. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
This is Holly Robinson Pete for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diet, and there's only one egg with more delicious, farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties, classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
Lots of force on this one. Hello, Chop House. A 2-run homer.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The King, James Jenner. Just a few wonderful people Jerry Christian knows. They're a huge Auburn fan. We got so many in the Florida Panhandle. You know, we are lower Alabama. We used to own this place, man. And I told
you gave it away.
Well, my great-great-grandfather, I said, no, sell it. Give it away. We don't need it. It's all nothing but sand. Can't grow cotton on it. Wish we had it back. Yeah. Anyway, I got a ringing. All right, we got Jeff. Jeff, you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I want to say, give me 1 second, Jeff.
Sure.
Kyle Vandergrift, love him. He apologized. Coach, sorry, I'm down. He had a big project they're working on, and they'll be with us next Friday. Anyway, we got Jeff Spiegel with us from the great state of Alabama. Jeff, I want to talk about a couple things about Auburn. I do believe Auburn's going to be I think they'll be a good football team. I do. He's taking a lot of heat right now. I got some questions for you. I'll start with this one first. We got SEC Media Days going. They've had a lot of players decommit. They've lost out on some recruiting. The last 2 years, they've knocked out of the ballpark in recruiting. They got good transfers to come in. And Jason hit on this earlier, the reason why this could be happening. But how are they going to treat Hugh Freeze at SEC Media Days? Are they going to drill him on his golf game? Are they going to call him out on the hell? Some national magazine, golf magazine, called him out. He plays golf too much. I mean, no, seriously, they did. And you look at social media, some Auburn people are upset because they're losing good players. They're losing commits. They're not getting the people they want, and they're upset about it. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of people play golf. What's the take on Hugh Freeze? How he's going to be treated, and what's your take on it?
Well, sure. I mean, Wildcat brought this up, a few weeks ago when this was brought up. Who's he playing golf with? Is he playing golf with some high roller donors, and getting some money for the program? I don't know who his playing partners are, but I do know this: he is eat up with golf, and he loves it. He probably loves it more than any other college coach in America. And here's the thing. Don't post your scores. Don't post your scores. If you want to go play and if you want to go sneak off and play, don't post your scores. Don't make it so public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's a big deal because his football team hasn't been that big a deal the last 2 years. But if they go out and they beat Baylor and they set the woods on fire this year, and they go, let's say they go 8-4. Let's say they go 9-3. no one's even going to remember that this was a story.
Right.
But because they've struggled on the field the last 2 years and they've struggled recruiting, it's a huge story. Last night he addressed it on David Pollock's podcast, and he said, look, I do love golf. I love to get away, and play. But I've never missed a camp time. I've never missed any, recruiting time. But he mentioned that, he and his wife like to go out on the golf course and play. And if camp gets wrapped up and they go out there at 4:30, they'll play. But just, don't make it such a public thing. Don't post your scores. And I said in the sports office the other day, what he ought to do, if he really wants to make a statement, bring his golf clubs, set them in front of everybody at the SEC Media Day's main room, and say, look, I'm leaving these golf clubs here. I'm not going to play another round of golf until we win the national championship.
That's pretty smart.
Good.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Jeff, let me ask you this. Everybody knows that college recruiting is a very cutthroat business, and Hugh Freeze had some health issues, and we were talking about Deion's health issues, and maybe he doesn't want to let everybody know how sick he is or isn't. Do you sense any of that with Hugh Freeze too? That the people he's losing recruits because, well, you don't know how Coach Freeze, he's got prostate cancer or whatever. I mean, is that being used against him? Have you heard any of that, or do you know?
I haven't heard that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, if that's the case. I think though, most of the recruiting that's being done nowadays. Against Auburn. Look. Let's be honest. It's easy to recruit against Auburn right now,
right?
Because they haven't been productive on the field. So if you're Alabama, you go, look at our record. Look at Auburn's record since 2020. Do you think they're a program that's going somewhere? And a recruit will look at that and go, well, looks like you guys are kind of going in the right direction, and these guys are not. Now all that can change. If they go out and they beat Baylor, and then they win at Texas A&M, they win at Oklahoma, and all that. All this could change in a hurry. But here's the thing: there's more pressure now than ever on Hugh Freeze to win football games because of this little hole that he's dug. And but if he can win and he can put a winning product on the field, and they got electric players on both sides of the ball, they really do. But the key is going to be Jackson Arnold. He's put all his chips on the table with Jackson Arnold. If Jackson Arnold fails, Hugh Freeze will fail.
Yeah, and let's be honest, they gave away games last year. They should have never lost to Oklahoma. And again, there was some of the play call. In my opinion, it was the play calling. You had one of the best running backs in college football. He never had the ball. He never touched the ball. Kind of like Alabama. They didn't run their running backs enough, I didn't think.
Let me ask you about this, though, because my understanding is, like, with the new NIL deals, when freshmen are coming in, they go in front of the board or the committee, and if they're not approved, then that goes against their salary cap. A lot of Auburn fans are upset about the way they're recruiting, but they had to pay a lot of upperclassmen because their last two classes were, had a lot of 5 stars, a lot of talent there. So all that money was put towards retaining that roster. So it just makes sense that this class this year with incoming freshmen, they're just not going to be able to pay that. Is that your understanding, that these NIL deals, once they go in front of the committee, if they're denied, they go towards that cap?
Well, that's an excellent point, and now we're getting into waters that I'm not comfortable swimming in.
Yeah.
But there is this August 1st date out there too that Hugh Freeze and John Cohen kept bringing up a couple of weeks ago. That by rule, and I don't know if this is an SEC rule or national rule, that the first official date that a recruit can get a written NIL offer is August 1st. So August 1st is the date that they're pointing to, that everything's going to change when it comes to, Auburn's commitment list and guys who will commit and all that. And that's another situation where Hugh kind of gets in trouble because he mentioned, in that briefing, a couple of weeks ago that, well, we're doing things the right way. And everyone else took that to mean, well, what are you saying? Are you saying everyone else is doing it the wrong way? It's real easy. It's real easy to get your words kind of twisted when you've got a history of saying silly things, in the media.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a situation where he got in a little trouble on that deal as well.
Yeah.
We shall see. I'm going to ask you this: Auburn they go put up with Baylor. That's a huge football game. Baylor's pretty good. And it's on a Friday night, Fox TV. The whole world will be watching. I think they've got to win that ball game. And in the 3 games, he's got to win 2 out of the first 3 games. He's got to either beat Baylor, A&M, Oklahoma. He's got to win 2 of those 3 to have the kind of year to make everybody happy to get to that 8 or 9 wins. 7 wins. I don't know if that keeps his job at Auburn or not. 8 does. There's no doubt about that. And I think they're going to get to 8. I really do. But now they go 0-3 in those ball games. Watch out. It could get ugly. But they got too much talent. He's too good of a coach. But here's the key reason all you Auburn fans need to relax. Everything's going to be great. They're going to shock the world next year. He went, and he's got his degree from the Harvard of the South. He's a Southern Mississippi graduate. So we're in good shape.
That's supposed to make him feel better? Really? That's what you're going with? You're going ahead, Bert.
I'm telling you, he's going to be okay. Right. But do you agree with that? They got to win 2 out of their first 3 ball games. They can't go 1-2 versus A&M, Oklahoma, and Baylor. They've got to win 2 of those games.
This is a program, Coach, that's got to get as much positive energy going early as possible. Because if the train starts rolling in a negative direction, then, all the negative Nancy's are going to come out, and it's just going to be rough. I mean, it's going to be a rough go. And don't forget, they got Georgia, on the schedule, and, Georgia's coming into their place. But if there's a lot of negative energy going into that game, and then Georgia steamrolls them at home at Jordan-Hare Stadium, which used to be a really, really tough place to play a football game. And then that's when the wheels will officially start coming off. If they get off to a bad start and then they get beat, let's say 42-14 by Georgia at home, and that's when things start really getting ugly.
And let's be honest, that's why the golf stuff is important, because if it starts going south, they're just going to point, look, you've been playing golf, everything.
And his health.
You're just opening up things for more criticism. I mean, like he said, if you're going to want to play golf, go off to the side, go off when nobody's looking, no cameras, don't post your scores. Every coach needs
just
that.
tell Lane Kiffin what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Lane what you're doing.
I hope he does something cool at media days, because Lane's going to troll him a little bit.
Hey, USA Today just came out with, here's Auburn. They got Auburn 7.5 wins. And Jeff will ask you, they going to go over or they going to go under? 7.5.
I think they're going to go over. I think the key is going to be the offensive line, how well they can protect Arnold, how well Arnold executes. Because what you don't want to happen is for Arnold to come out of the gate and really struggle like he did at Oklahoma last year, and then them have to go to the backup plan. The kid from Stanford, we really haven't seen him yet in the SEC. You certainly don't want to trot a freshman out there as talented as he is, and put him in the fire too early. But Jackson Arnold has got to play good football, and that quarterback head coach dynamic has got to run a lot smoother than it did last year with Peyton Thorne and Hugh Freeze.
Do you have any real way too early great predictions like you've done in the past? You've been right on all of them. What about Texas? Does Texas win the national championship?
A lot of hype with Arch Manning. I mean, I think they certainly have a shot. They've got, they got all the tools. They've got all the players. They're so deep. Sark is such a great coach. I mean, the dark horse, in my opinion, is the team that was really coming on last year, and that's South Carolina. Now, the key is, can Shane Beamer pull it off 2 years in a row? Can he pull off a good year 2 years in a row?
Yeah.
And, they've got Lenore Sellers, who's, one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league, I think. And if I had to pick a dark horse for the playoff, I would go with the Gamecocks there.
I would say that, and I'd also keep an eye out on Ole Miss. I'm telling you, watch out for Ole Miss.
I like Miami Hurricanes if Beck can be that 2 year ago quarterback, because they got a lot of talent in the trenches that a lot of people don't understand. Mario Cristobal has quietly put together a tremendous offense and defensive line. Now, that defense was terrible last year, but their offense runs really well. They got receivers. They got good running backs. Their offensive line should be phenomenal. They play in a weak conference, so I'm looking at Miami as my little sleeper team that could sneak into the playoffs that nobody's really talking about.
Jeff, we love you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Tell that superstation up there that it's going to have to double the salary to get me to move. I just can't. I can't see doing it for that amount. I mean, $150,000 doesn't get you anything in Birmingham.
Oh, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend.
All right, buddy.
Man, have a good one, man.
All right, we'll be right back. I got time to do a commercial or not?
You got time.
I got time. Thank you, sir. Get out to Beef Road Brazen in the Navy and have a wonderful time. Pat Purnell, we love you, man. He's going down to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason, where are you located?
We're in the Del Coronado Village on 23rd Street, right next to Tzatziki's, the Black Sheep Armory, and in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
The legend, Dr. Chad Mitchell, 26 years on Bay County sidelines. Listen to every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You don't have to be a great athlete. Chad will see anybody. The guy is incredible. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Steve's Bike Shop. He's one of the best swim coaches around. His bike shop's incredible. Electrical bikes are taking over the world. Go get you one. Steve's Bike Shop. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Set your alarm clock to wake up with the Coach Hale Show on ESPN Northwest Florida. In-depth local and college sports from expert insiders and a dash of controversy.
Can be deadly.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9.
Nothing says good morning like a drunken human alarm clock.
We're live from the J. Michael Studio.
We all know he loves the Florida Gators, but that's okay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I can control the world.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices. All sterling silver jewelry is 25% off. All silver chains, pendants, earrings, bracelets, and rings. Also, our entire stock of Boulevard watches, 20% off. And we are offering free 6 months layaway. Tracy's Fine Jewelry takes the stress out of the holiday. So shop now where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
There's a reason we call it the big one, because the biggest deals of the year are happening now at Panama City Toyota. And you can get 3.99% APR on the award-winning Camry, plus 90 days until you make your first payment, and 3.99% on the new RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.99% on the bold Tacoma, or take the lead and get 1.99% on the powerful Tundra. The big one, right now at Panama City Toyota.
Offers expire August 4th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. It's double the Paul Feinbaum Show. Weeknights starting at 6.
Okay, but also go faster.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jim Brandt, James, and Jason Kovaleski. Jeff Spiegel does a great job. Love that guy. Wonderful man. All right, I got a question for you two. What two head coaches, they refused it. No, you're not going to use me. I will not be on the EA Sports video game. What two head coaches are they?
I know one of them.
One of them would not do the Manning when he was in the NFL. He said, no, I'm not going to be on Manning. You know, I'm not. No way.
Head coaches?
Two head coaches. They said, no, don't put me. No.
You talking about college coaches?
College coaches. One coached in the NFL. When he was an NFL coach back in the day, he said, no, I'm not going to be on NFL Mannings either.
Bill Belichick.
You are correct, my friend. Who is the other one?
Dabo?
Nope.
Deion Sanders.
Yes. Good job.
Those are
Why?
guesses. I didn't even know that one. I got lucky there.
Do you think it's the money? They're not paying them enough money? Because they can demand a big fee.
Sanders can't do it because he already used his image and likeness on a video game back in the mid-'90s.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought it may have been health reason. That's the only reason I guessed that.
Well, he's also got that podcast. Doesn't he have something on Netflix, too, that they cover everything? He goes to the bathroom, they're in there with him. What type of toilet paper is that? I mean, no, really, they have a Netflix thing. He's documentary on him anyway. I don't know if that had something to do with it. But with Bill, you think Bill just said they're not paying me enough to do it? He's got an ego,
I'm not
too,
a Belichick fan at all.
He's got an ego.
He's a stick in the mud. That doesn't surprise me.
I doubt it's about money. I just think it's about his ego.
You know,
I gotta get back to my 24-year-old
James, is it money with
girlfriend.
Bill or what?
I think it's a control issue with Belichick. I think he wants to have absolute control of anything that he's involved with, and if he can't have that absolute control of saying what's on the cover and what's in the product, he doesn't want to be a part of it.
Except the 25-year-old female.
She's 24.
Well, I mean,
that's Cincinnati.
I mean, that's
He
keeping
can't
in
control
control.
her.
You know, that's keeping in control. I mean, other than she's in control, but that's still a control.
That's a win. That's a heck of a recruit.
That's a win.
That's his first 5-star.
Anyway, family show. All right, I want to show his opinion on this. Would you, all right, just say you were offense coordinator and you played at this school. You played there. You did a great job at this university. And you're the offense coordinator. And they fire you. And they bring in another guy. Well, it doesn't matter who the other guy is. They fired you. But you had an opportunity to get them back, your old school, and maybe get that coach fired. Would you enjoy that? Would you want that to happen? Yeah, you'd want it to happen. Come on, be honest. Let's be real. You want it to happen. What coach this year could probably put the nail in the coffin to his former school and to that head football coach of that school? They're in the SEC.
Goodness gracious. I have no idea.
They took over a town, but they got embarrassed in the college playoffs.
So they was Tennessee.
Yes.
But who they?
Where did he play?
Oh, Oklahoma.
He played at Oklahoma. He was offensive coordinator back in 2014, and they ran him off. They fired him. And you know the thing about it? His offense ranked 21st overall in the country, and they still fired him. And that kind of hurt him. I think deep down he thought he won a national championship as a quarterback at Oklahoma in 2000. He kind of thought maybe one day he could. Deep down he probably thought, I can be the head coach here. I played here. I'm offensive coordinator here. And they fire him. It's like they ripped his heart out. Think about it.
You're talking about Josh Heupel here,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
But he's proven to be a good head coach. I mean,
he's done a good job.
Especially coming after all the scandal that was going on at Tennessee to come in and kind of right that ship.
Oklahoma, 2 losing seasons in a row. 2 out of the last 3 years they've had losing seasons. They're 6-7 last year. What saved Venables last year, I think, beating Alabama at the end. You got to win at Oklahoma. Their athletic director is quitting. He's done. He's retiring. I think he's in trouble. He loses to Tennessee. That's not going to help him.
They got Michigan early in the year.
Michigan in the beginning of the year. They got Texas. They're at Alabama.
I've seen 2 or 3 polls where they're in the top 10.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what.
Based on what?
This guy from Washington must be an unbelievable coach. And that player, that quarterback, must be the real deal. Because I'm seeing a lot of love towards Oklahoma.
You know, Cam Ward had the same kind of career path. He was at Washington State, threw for a bunch of yards, went to Miami, was a Heisman Trophy winner. So I see maybe the connection there, but they had a lot more issues than just the quarterback spot. Offensive line's been shaky. I mean, if you don't have a good offensive line, I don't care how good your quarterback is. I mean, you're going to be in trouble. I just don't see it. I didn't think Venables was a great head coach. I think he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator. Their defense was great. You know, they've been playing against Alabama. Even that Tennessee game, that's kind of where we saw some chinks in the armor with Nico when they went up there and thought they were going to blow them out. And Oklahoma was super physical in defense and kind of roughed them up a little bit. And I don't think Nico looked the same the rest of the year, but I just don't see it with Oklahoma. Not a playoff team. You know, maybe 7-8 wins.
All right. I think you knocked it out of the dang ballpark, honestly. But if Oklahoma, let's listen to this. If Oklahoma loses to Michigan in a close, whatever, they lose to Michigan, they still lost.
Right.
They lose at Auburn, lose at home to Auburn. They lose to Texas. They got South Carolina, Ole Miss. They lose those games, and those are games they could lose. The games they could win, too.
Tough schedule.
And then you've lost to Michigan, Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, and then you go up late in the year and you lose to Tennessee. that's the nail. He's gone.
He's done.
He's done. Burnt toast. He's gone.
Like you said, you pointed this out already. They have a new AD, and all the ADs want to have their guy in there. They want to be on the same page, and if he doesn't just knock it out of the park, I think he's got to win 8 or 9 games to be safe.
I think 9.
I don't see it with that schedule, and that's not a knock on Venables. That's just how tough the schedule actually is. When you look at their week to week, who they're playing, they got a game every week that they're going to either be barely a favorite or an underdog. So
heck, they could be a factor in Arkansas too. Tennessee plays Arkansas October 11th. I think they're a great shot of winning that one also. But that Oklahoma game in Tennessee is going to be interesting if it goes south for Oklahoma. Now they could beat Michigan. They got to. I think they have to set the tone for the year. You know how it is when you got a team that's kind of. Well, if you're an Oklahoma guy, you go on the road. You beat Auburn the year before. Auburn's coming to your place the next year, this coming up season. Aren't you going to be upset if you lose that Auburn game?
But did Auburn really win that, or did
Auburn gave it away?
They gave it away.
Auburn gave it. Here, take it.
And now you got Jackson Arnold over there, at Auburn, who was their quarterback. So there's a lot of big games for Oklahoma, and I could see that going either way. If they win 2 or 3 here, I think he's safe, but I could see that thing going off the rails quick.
This is another. I was just sitting here thinking, this is another example because, Bob Stoops, he was a defensive coordinator in Florida, did a great job, won a national championship with Spurrier, and then goes to Oklahoma and wins a title there. But the difference is he's played in the Big 12 compared to now your boy Venables playing in the SEC. So, you talk about career paths, and it makes a difference who you're playing. It really does. Because Oklahoma had tremendous offensive players forever. Going back as long as I can remember, Oklahoma could always score points.
Even Lee O'Reilly, playing in the Big 12, throwing the ball over, made Rose Bowl, played against Georgia, went down to the wire, goes to the Big 10, and now he's 6-6 with Caleb Williams. So it's a different animal playing in these big time conferences where every week it's a team that could beat you, not a team that you're favored by 35.
Jim made a great point. Oklahoma they're one of the few teams ever to have back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners, and I think it was at the quarterback positions. 2017, their quarterback wins the Heisman. 2018, they win it. And matter of fact, back-to-back Heismans. You know how many schools have done this?
Not many.
2, I think.
6.
Dang,
6 schools have had back-to-back. But it's kind of misleading. You go back to Yale, 1936, 1937, okay?
Ohio State was one guy.
Army.
Army did it in 1945, 1946. Ohio State had the only player in the history of college football win it back-to-back. Archie Griffin won it 1974, 1975. But I'll be honest with you, that big Pete Johnson, I think his name, that big fullback could have won it that year, too, in my opinion. USC did it. USC did it not too long ago, 2004, 2005. Oklahoma again, 2017, 2018. And the only other team to do it was Alabama, 20 and 21, Devontae Smith and Young. 6 times it's only happened out of all these years they've gotten out the Heisman. That's pretty incredible. So you're right about their offense, Jim. They do a great job. Ole Miss, they could lose to Ole Miss very easily. South Carolina, we heard Jeff talk about their sleeping team. So who knows? Who knows? I don't even know if 8 wins will keep his job. With a new AD coming in, you're at Oklahoma. You're supposed to win big. That's a blue blood. You got to win big at Oklahoma. And like Jim pointed out, you're in a different league now. Like Nebraska. Look at Nebraska.
Nebraska's another one.
They dominated for years. They go to the Big Ten, and they have to play every single. That's what we talk, and the average guy out there doesn't understand. If you never played college football, never coached it, when you're in a league and you got to play somebody that's really good every single week, it's hard to win those games.
I'll point something out. It was Tom Osborne at Nebraska, tremendous coach, won all kind of championships. He was there as a head coach 25 years. He was, listen to what I'm going to say now, he was 50-0 against the Kansas. That's Kansas and Kansas State. So that means in his 25 years as a head coach, he never lost to either one of them. That's 50 wins right there. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
50 wins?
Yeah.
Against 2 teams?
And they benefited against Prop 48, too. They were they
were in, look at the league they were in.
Right.
They had Oklahoma, Nebraska,
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, now you're the Big Ten. You're
Colorado.
You're playing all these teams that can beat anybody on any given day. It's just a different league.
Scott Frost interview and the things he said.
Hold your thoughts now. I want to come back to that. We got to take a break right now. Let's talk about the Vandy Roofing. Kyle Vandergrift does a great job. We'll listen to him next Friday. He'll be there. They were so busy right now. It's incredible. The guy does great work. Vandergrift family, legendary family. If you're looking for a roof, it's Vandy Roofing. You look in your yard, look beautiful. Turpo Pest Control can make it happen. You got insects in the house, they can make them go away. Patrick does a great job. Listen to him every Monday, 8:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, the Chris Fisher special today. I will be there. It's incredible. Go check it out. Come by and say hello. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
Jaden Daniels, if he does get into the top 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League, and I get that that's a big if. The guy that we're worried about being pushed out or being replaced ain't Jalen Hurts. It's Joe Burrow. You judge greatness in this league by a few different things. Championship rings, all pros, and MVPs. Joe Burrow ain't got none of that.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, and a high of 87 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, mostly clear skies and a low near 81. Tomorrow, mixture of mostly sunshine and a possibility of thunderstorms and a high around 87. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered. Literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest. I love Fridays, man. I'll tell you what, it's been a great show today, I think. We had a good time. Love the people in here. Spiegel does a great job. James, you do a good job, too.
Thank you much.
We were talking about Nebraska, how tough it's been to win out there. Jim made a great point between the break that the population growth there compared to the Southeast is different. It's exploded here over the years, and there's not the number of players there. You got to recruit nationally to get players in there. The schedule's brutal because you're in the Big Ten. But what did their former all-star quarterback, head coach, that did a great job at USC, went to Nebraska, gets fired, goes back to UCF. What did he have to say about Scott Frost? What do you have to say?
I was pretty surprised about this because they asked about his tenure at Nebraska, and he just kind of threw Nebraska under the bus. He basically said, my alma mater wanted me to come in there and save him. I didn't really want to go there. I was pressured into taking the job, and and they asked him if he learned anything from that, and he said, don't accept jobs that you don't want to be at. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I mean, you knew fully ahead of time what you were getting into, what you were taking on. They paid you a ton of money.
Yeah, the good and the bad,
You went 16-32, which is horrible. I mean, terrible. I mean, and now you're throwing the school under the bus for believing you, hiring you, and paying you all this money to come.
How dare you hire me?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what the gist of it was. And I used to love Scott Frost, still think he's a good football coach, but I lost a lot of respect for him for saying something like that and being so public about that. Like, if you believe in somebody and you're paying them a certain amount of money to bring them home to be in the alma mater to coach your your team, have a little respect and take a little bit of accountability for what you did wrong,
Right.
Because it's very hard to go 16-32 at Nebraska.
I know it's hard to do that. Sometimes I've screwed up, but it's the best thing to do when things are going bad for you, not even to make any comments.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything.
Just say, I appreciate the opportunity. Things didn't work out, and I'm back at UCF where I want to be.
Yeah, the least,
and move on. Or hire a
say,
publicist.
Yeah. Hey, I want to jump into Texas Longhorns. This is what they have, game prediction. A lot of people are on the bandwagon that they could win it all, and they could. They might win the whole thing this year. Here's what they have. Not only do they have the prediction, they got the scores. All right, week 1 versus 2. Ohio State, they're going to host the Texas Longhorns. Here's the prediction. The Ohio State Buckeyes beat Texas 34-28. The next week they play JSU. I don't know who that is, Jackson State.
San Jose State University.
San Jose.
There you go.
They beat Texas, wins that game 48-0. The next they got UTEP. They beat them 56-3. Look at the schedule's a joke. Sam Houston the next week, they win that one 49-6, and then it starts. The SEC games start. They're at Florida. They have had 3 cupcakes in a row. They go to Florida. They go into overtime. They do pull off the win in games. Well, 38-31, they score a touchdown overtime to win the game. I do think that Florida game's going to be very interesting for Texas, for both schools. They go to the Red River. They win the Cotton Bowl game. They win it 16-13 over Oklahoma. They're at Kentucky. They beat the Kentucky Wildcats 31-17. They're at Mississippi State, and they struggle. They only beat Mississippi State 35-28. They'll kind of overlook them. Then they beat Vandy 34-14. They're at Georgia. They lose to Georgia in Athens 24-20. Arkansas, they beat Arkansas at home 38-6. And then the big one, the rival game. I think it's Thanksgiving this year. They beat Texas A&M 24-14. They finished the year 10-2. They got an SEC record of 7-1. They make the playoffs. Hey, all bets are off. You get in, you can win it all. Look at Ohio State last year. What do you think about that? I thought their schedule's pretty soft, except for Ohio State. I mean, they're non-conference. That's 3 cupcakes. They got Ohio State, the toughest team in the country to play.
Well, they got Georgia and Florida, though, on the road.
Georgia, Florida. Well, really, it's Ohio State and Georgia, the 2 toughest. And then you can put Florida in there. But I want to go to the experts. This is out of Vegas. They got them losing 10-2, or going 10-2. They open up at Ohio State. They're Ohio State's minus 2.5.
So right, it's about even. I mean, home field advantage gives you about 3 points on average.
At Florida, Texas is favored 6.5. Versus Oklahoma, Texas is favored by 10.5. At Georgia, Georgia's favored 2.5. And at A&M, Texas is favored by 10.5. So that's kind of like Vegas saying the exact same thing. They're going to win 10 games and lose 2. And they picked the exact same team, too, these experts here in Vegas. Maybe they're working hand-to-hand on this. I don't know. 10-2, 11-1. What do you think? Or could they go 9-3?
I think everything's on the table. I mean, going to Florida is no easy game there. I mean, that's a tough place to play. They got, Lagway if he's healthy. I mean, their defense played really good last year. They played Texas last year without Lagway, got beat pretty good. But, with Lagway, that's a different football team. First game of the year is going to set the tone. I mean, you go into Ohio State, you win that game, get a lot of confidence for Manning, and then, I could see 11-1 too. It's just, there's so many big games on the schedule for them. The Georgia game is going to be huge for them, especially after losing to them twice last year. I think that's going to be something they're going to be circling on their calendar, wanting to get that monkey off their back. But I just think the first game of the year is going to set the tone for either Ohio State or Texas to kind of run the table or not.
You got to stay healthy. All right, here, I'm going to go back to USA Today. I didn't get all of them in. They got Texas winning 10.4. Georgia 10.1, Alabama 9.6, Tennessee 8.7, Ole Miss 8.3. I got a feeling Ole Miss is going to be better than 10. That's just me. Texas A&M 8.1. I do think they're going to be much improved. LSU, they've only got LSU 7.9.
Well, they'll have a new coach next year. Then
he's gone.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be over. I think they're going to win 9. I think 9. And that even winning 9 is he's going to be in trouble with 9 wins.
Again, that first game of the year, Clemson.
He loses that.
That's such a big game for both programs.
Auburn, we already talked about 7.5. South Carolina 7.3. I think it'll be pretty good.
I think that's way over. I mean, they got 2 of the best players in the SEC, Sellers, and then
they get Alabama at home.
Dylan Stewart.
Yeah, we got to remember that they close at the end of the year. They open up with Virginia Tech, I think, and they close with Clemson. Their schedule's pretty tough.
It is, but they're talented.
Oklahoma 6.9. He's gone. Missouri 6.9. Their schedule's pretty favorable. I think they'll be okay.
6.9 wins, but how are they in the top 10 in all these 25?
That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense. I don't get the Oklahoma hype. I think maybe they like Venables. Maybe they're promoting them a little bit, but how do you have that over-under at 7?
This is the main one I want to get in here. Florida Gators 6.4 wins.
Take the over.
They're going to
get as Lagway is healthy.
I don't care how hard that schedule is. Florida's back. They're going to be 8-0. I'm telling you. Arkansas 6.1, Kentucky 5.6, Vandy 4.8, Mississippi State 4.4. That just shows you how bad it is with what's happened at Mississippi State. I think Brian's let that thing fall apart.
Well, you had, what's his name there, and with that situation with him dying, that kind of put the program back a little bit.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to get this in there for the Buckeye boys. Ohio State has not lost 3+ games since 2011. Three losses since Alabama had 3 losses past year. Penn State's had 3 losses this past year. I didn't know that. Texas had 3 losses this past year. Wow.
With the playoff loss.
Well,
they lost to Georgia
Miami,
twice.
Georgia, Michigan, and Clemson did. Wow, I didn't know that. All right, how much time?
Got about 1 minute.
1 minute. Thank you, our wonderful sponsors. We love all you guys. Thank you for your support. Keep it here all day long on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jim, we got you Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Jason, real quick, you do incredible work. I love your business down there. You can solve just about every problem someone has. Where are you located? You got any kind of special deals going on?
Yeah, we're located in the Del Coronado Village next to Tzatziki's, Granny Cantrell's Black Sheep Armory, and in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods. We got our transparent labs, just got that stuff in, all natural, no artificial color sweeteners, really good for mom, dad, any athlete. 15% off for the rest of July.
And my baby girl, Jamie Hale's birthday is Sunday. Happy birthday, Jamie. We love you.
Happy birthday.
Jim used to change her diapers. Happy birthday, Jamie.
And happy birthday, Tyler, my nephew. I mean, he's just had his baby, and congratulations to him and his wife, too.
All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
First of all, this thing with the court and college